start recording. We'll see if this works. Okay, I guess it's the 20th of January. And I'm here with Matt. How's it going, Matt?
So
Pretty good.
here with Jeff.
So, sorry, I'm just adjusting my screen. This is probably gonna get clipped. My computer's really slow for some reason.
Buy a new computer, boss.
What's that?
Buy a new computer, boss.
Yeah, well, this one's okay. It's kind of new, but it's just for some reason. I think it's because I've got so much shit on it. Look at all these numbers.
Hmm.
Okay, so we'll do replay. I usually get up at 5, or I'm trying to, but it's winter and it's really hard to get up when it's like lashing with cold rain. So I ended
I
up
know what you mean.
I snoozed a bit and I got up about 6:10
It was raining all night last night too.
in New York.
Yeah, raining. Got
Sucks.
really
Like
cold.
I'm in the west of Scotland, which is like just rain central.
I got cold off it.
Yeah. All right. So where are we? Well, look at the higher time frame first. I usually like before the session starts. So the first thing to note is like yesterday we've got this swing high. It's probably an H4 swing high. That's a liquidity target. You know eventually we're gonna smash that, especially because um there's another swing high.
Yeah, far to the left of
This
it.
one, yeah. So it's kind of a double top. So your first instinct is like, well, there's a daily supply zone right above this double top. So first thing you're
Hmm.
thinking is long, like it's obviously going to raid liquidity. But I'm also thinking it's Friday, and if you just look at the general order flow of the day, it's lower highs, higher low. Sorry, lower highs, lower lows, and the big thing, if you look at the market profile,
I still gotta get that.
where is it? All right, I'll just put it on the screen. So yeah, it's $9 a month. I highly recommend you do this, especially if you're doing tight stop trading.
Hmm. See this real quick.
Oh Jesus! This is the worst video. Can you see my MT4?
Nah, only trading you.
Okay, I'll switch it. And I'm just gonna copy and paste that onto TradingView. That'll be fine. So how long have you been trading for again?
Summer 2020
So did you have lockdowns?
lockdowns. Yeah, we're school, of course.
Yeah.
So that whole year I was on lockdown, so I had really much nothing to do. Um,
Yeah. So
I
I
came, yeah, I came across this with like a friend of mine who was trading. Like he was doing support and resistance at the time, so I'm like, oh, so I was like really intrigued into charts just by him alone.
Yeah, so I was working in an investment manager. I was an investment manager for, well, I just come back into the industry and I was working there for a year and then got made redundant when the markets crashed during the lockdowns. So I was on furlough, like they were just paying me to sit at home and do nothing. And then eventually this made me redundant because I was like the first in, or sorry, the last in kind of first out situation.
Uh,
So I didn't really enjoy it so much. Like the pay was okay, but I didn't really like sitting in an office, and I was always intrigued by the markets because I worked in the markets. So I kind of made the decision I'm just gonna focus on this and try and figure it out. You know, no matter how long it takes. I think the last year was good. That was kind of formative, where I had a lot of periods of consistency for months. Um,
Yeah, I actually heard that like you had a great like year last year. Like
yeah,
I was scrolling up in the chat and you said towards the end of the year you sort of like you said you gave up like a little bit of your return to the market.
yeah.
Like, you gave back profits.
Well,
Uh
that's why I closed the group because I just found it was impacting my trading because I was essentially over trading because I had this need to like provide trades all the time because people were quite demanding. Like they'd paid money and they wanted results. The
yeah.
thing about the market, sometimes like you can go a whole week and there's just no setups, and you have to be prepared for that. You have to know when the market's like going to produce trades for you and when it's not. That's one of the hardest things because like I think if you sit in front of the screen, you end up forcing trades. You start seeing things that aren't really there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Like you just make stuff up.
yeah, your ability to like filter the good and mediocre trades kind of diminishes the more time you spend in front of the screen. So that's why it's so important to like I think do prep, have an idea of what's happening, do your markups, and then just go do something else and keep half an eye on the charts. And eventually, like every day, something will jump out at you, and you'll see that's a good trade. So
Yeah.
I was aware of this gray box, this red line, and it was like the highest volume of the week, pretty much, right here. And the flow was down. It was lower highs, higher lows. So naturally, like I'm looking for a short. Um, sorry, this is like pissing me off. Something. So, where's the Asia low? This is it. So we don't know this is M1 supply yet. So just let it play. So sure enough, we're going down, and we break Asia low. But I'm not really minded. Somebody in the group took the long here, but I was a lot more focused on. Did you pause? How
That was
the
a good trade.
fuck do you pause this? It's unpausable. Anyway, so we had this break of structure, break of Asia low, and a lot of people will be thinking to go long here, like especially at London Open. So I'm already short because I know, like just from experience, that this is gonna sell off. So
Mhm.
I got short, broke Asia low, and then it spiked up after London Open. So a lot of like weak sellers would have got shaken out here. I ended up adding up here in the M1 supply because this was supply that broke structure,
Mm.
and sure enough, we got a good trade out of it. Um,
No, I understand. Like,
I think I
yeah.
closed early. Like I only took like 20 pips. So I wussed out, but it went down and gave a full 40 pips, and that should be your day ended if you get 40 pips with say a 5 pip stop loss or even a 3 pip stop loss. I'd call it. I have three setups, and I call this setup two. So you have a kind of fake break of structure, then a retest of a supply, and ideally you would find a volume cluster within the supply that would pinpoint it, and that will give you like your 2 or 3 pip stop loss.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
so that was a good one. And then the target was we had this high volume node. Um, that was from yesterday's accumulation. So that was the target. That was this node here. So sure enough, we sold from that node to that node easy, and you actually could have gone long. I was kind of
Sell
biased.
to buy.
Yeah, this is a buy. So you could buy like straight on the high volume node, but market always gives you a second chance. So we created the London low, like a swing low here.
Uh-huh.
I have a setup called setup one, where you mark up session highs and lows, daily highs and lows, weekly highs and lows, and wait for a sweep of them, because that's where traders put stops. So everyone who's going long here has stops under here. So the market algorithm is going to be attracted to those stops. So the best trade would be under London low. And sure enough, it comes down to break London low, which is a stop hunt.
Oh yeah, grab a liquidity and
Yeah.
move higher. Yeah.
So I think it breaks it. Yeah, that was it. Just
Mm.
just taps it out. So if you wanted to take long there, yeah, you could do it in the retest. I didn't take that one. I'm still in the short, but we anticipated. I was saying all day, like, this is gonna rally, and because we had this trend line, which is also liquidity,
Yeah.
and it's
Holding.
a very common setup in New York, where you have order flow just going down all day, and then New York will do some kind of liquidity grab above, like, say, a trend line or some kind of structure.
Yeah, build up of
Then
liquidity.
yeah, so it was like around liquidity. So naturally, like, we mitigate the supply from the morning. So I was thinking, okay, short, but I actually shorted way too early, kind of FOMO for no reason.
Uh,
I did get confirmation. One of my confirmations is like, where did I take it? I think I took it here, which is way too early. But I got like two bearish imbalances, which usually is a good sign. The momentum's building down, but I ended up shooting up, so I got stopped out of here. And then I just took it up on the supply. I think there's a lot of volume up here, so hopefully this is gonna drop, but I don't know. I guess the only straightforward trade for me was this one. Like, a lot of traders are gonna be shaken out by the spike at London Open. They might even reverse and go long. Um, but you can see clearly, like, we're trending down today off a high volume area.
yeah, it's bearish order flow.
Exactly. So that's a good short. And you can even do a tighter stop. I think you only need like 5. You could experiment with 3. I used to do 3
Yeah,
pip
like
stop
you.
losses all the time, but I say
Like
only do that if you're trading off distinct imbalance. Here also, actually, I added a position.
actually like the only thing I want to get down the volume imbalance. Like
Yeah.
I think that's super like
Oh, it's
precise.
so useful, because it's like you get it to the pip. So there was an imbalance here at 10-0. So I ended up adding off of that, and that gave me even more pips. So
What does it mean? Like 10-0
10
or
0
40-0,
10 0 is 10 contracts
10
on the
contracts.
bid side. So bid is now this gets confusing, because bid is actually aggressive sellers or limit buys. It can be either. And then on the ask side, it's either
Yeah, it's vice
buyers,
versa.
aggressive
Yeah.
buyers, or limit sellers, if that makes sense.
All right. No,
Aggressive,
it makes sense. It makes sense. I got it. I got it.
yeah. So you have to kind of take it with a pinch of salt. Like, just because there's loads of contracts in the bid side doesn't mean it's all sellers. It could be some buyers as well. So you have to apply logic.
Hmm.
But any zero side, you're looking for the zero side imbalances, because they tend to be structure levels. I don't know why. It just is what it is. So I took a trade off there as well. I think I
A
posted it.
beautiful trade, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a scalp. It's just 20 pips, but it was so precise. You could have a 2 pip stop loss. If you get 20 pips, that's 10R. So you're laughing.
Yeah. Pretty much done
Uh,
for the day, really.
yeah, you have to pay a lot of attention. It's quite a pain, especially MT4 is a real pain to kind of find these. Um, there's the 20-0, for example. That's really good. Anytime you see a lot of like bearish imbalances forming, that's usually a good sign. It's going to build momentum. So hang on, I'll mark that one up. And say if we pull back to that, that's a good entry. You can do that to
Mm-hmm.
the pip. So could add there, for example. Um, but you're really looking for like low volume. So if it comes up and it's still in the 30s, that's good because this one was 85. That was like a high volume push down. So if it does retrace on low volume, that's a good like re-entry level. But I mean, the main thing is the price action and the levels. You can't just like enter any imbalance. It has to be like have some logic to it.
Yeah, reasoning.
Yeah, reasoning. This one with touch supply kind of like pulled away, created an impulse or a displacement or whatever, and it's come back and retesting. It's more than 50%. It's fine. I'll just let it be for now.
I think it's just making like accumulation really. So it's gonna take out that liquidity that it just made, like the
Yeah,
trend line that you draw. Yeah.
the big danger is it shoots up and takes some of those swing highs, but I hope not.
Yeah.
Um, any questions? I guess like we can talk more, but that's just like a basic primer. Um, so go back. I'll go back to MT4 just so you can see it. Oh, someone's here. UFSS. How's it going?
He's been here for a minute. Welcome, man.
Hey, just lurking.
Yeah,
You got
he's just here.
yeah. You got to say hi, man.
That's fine. Like, if he wants to watch, he could watch. He could take
That's
note.
fine. Just creeping in the corner there. No, you're welcome. I guess you're a new member, so hello. So I'll go through MT4 the screens that I recommend you have. I think I put something on YouTube, but you can have Dixie up. I think you can get market profile, but for some reason it's not showing. But Dixie, the guy RB is using Dixie as well. That's like my secret sauce
Uh,
to figure out where um, GU is going because it's inverted, right? It's negative correlation.
yeah.
So you want the footprint on one window, and then you want this shows volume clusters, which is a proxy for structure as well, or supply and demand. It's useful. Say that's a supply zone, for example. I don't know if it is, but if you find the highest volume node in it, that's going to be the precise level that it reacts off of usually, or near enough.
Um,
That takes a bit of time to get your head around, but it's really good. I call it setup too. Basically, you have like a supply and demand zone. You look for the volume within it, and then you trade off that. So you've got those two. You've got footprint, you've got volume, and then market profile. That's good for just like your prep at night. So you can see this. The big levels are usually like supply and demand, and you can see they reacted perfectly. That was supply. It pushed the market down to this high volume node, and then that reacted. So we're back
I
up
want
here. So it
higher.
was a range
Yeah.
state. It was down then up. But also these lines, these bigger lines are structure as well. But the red lines are the big ones, and the biggest one is called the point of control, which is just like the highest volume of the day, and you can see it's acting as resistance. So this is a really, really, really good tool. And then you've got the volumes.
I
That's
gotta learn this.
yeah, it's not that hard. I mean, the footprint is a bit of a pain in the arse. Like yeah, having a separate screen, but it does get like say you've got this
I mean,
20.
yeah, I have two monitors, so it's cool. Like, I could just put
Yeah,
that on the second monitor.
yeah. I just got a third one, so I've got three now.
That's good
Um,
though. Like,
and then what else do you have? This is the heat map. We'll go into that later, but that shows like the resting liquidity. But it's a bit of a mess. Like
yeah,
I'm still getting my head around it, but it shows you where the limit orders and the resting orders are. So that shows you where the liquidity is basically.
yeah. I see. I
Um,
know.
this is Bitcoin. I don't know.
I've
Remember?
seen hit. I've seen heat maps on Trading View, like by Nephew Sale. Like he made one, and I was intrigued by it. I used it
Yeah,
for a bit,
yeah.
but
It's cool. There's software called Bookmap, but I've not quite got my head around it yet. I'm working on it, but this is Bitcoin, so let's see what's going on. Is there any trades? Do you think?
Mm,
So that's a good level.
H1's just consolidating. Like
So,
it could just sweep a high and go lower to fill in balance and then retrace off it.
so you see, like on market profile, you could have said, okay, this is what day is that? That was the 18th of January. So you could have marked that up, and then when the market comes down to test it, you could have went long there just for a scalp, I
Huh.
guess. I guess if we go further back, let's see. You can see there that previous level, which shot the market up. It's good to study. Good to study at night and then mark up. The best ones to mark up are like the weekly point of control. That always there it is again. That provided the support for the Bitcoin rally there. But anyway, that's Bitcoin. Let's go back to GU. So I'll open another window. Do you want to look at any other assets? Like, I'm happy to.
I think I only look at GU.
Yeah,
Like
I like just doing one as well. Because I know how G. Oh shit, I didn't want to take chart. How do you get rid of that? Symbols.
you are an expert at it.
Um, what else do I like to have? Okay, I like to have the. I'm recording this, so you can go back to it if you want. But yeah, I'm happy.
I'm too, don't worry. Like
I'm happy to show you this stuff. It's no big deal. Like I used to charge money, but I can't be arsed anymore.
nah, thank you. Like advance, like thank you a lot. Cause
It's no big deal.
I know I'm just gonna like take this and run with it though. Like I'm not gonna leave the group or anything like that. Like I'm not gonna that's not me,
Yeah,
right?
don't
Like
go start a group and like steal all my shit.
nah, I have no plan in like making no other group. I'm not really like a people person, you know.
I
I like
am. This thing is like the trading on your own. It drives you mental. It's just so tedious. Like
I know what you
I love making money, but sometimes I'm just like I'm wasting my life just watching these bars go up and down. Uh,
sometimes I just play games on the side and just like chill. I just see what I like to see on the chart and then like trade it, you know.
I haven't played
Like I
games in
have
years, so like I can't be arsed with games. I
you
feel like I'm wasting my life.
nah, you're good, man. Like
Okay, so zero side click. So you're gonna have two of these open.
yeah.
The imbalance indicator. Put them both on zero side. Put one on price ask equals bid and put one on price ask above bid, and that shows you diagonal imbalances. So we'll get into that later, but there's diagonal imbalances and horizontal ones.
Uh,
It's like people like Trader Dale use diagonal ones. I was taught horizontal ones. To be honest, they both work. I'll try and give an example of that's a horizontal imbalance. Okay, they're both in the same level, but you can also read it as 8-0. Don't ask me the mechanics of that. It just is what it is. But they both work. Um, what were we gonna do? This is M1. So yeah, set that to 10, strike to 10, and that shows you. It's quite useful. How do you zoom out? I can't zoom out.
press control on your keyboard.
Control.
Yeah, control and use the scroll wheel.
This.
Like, yeah, the scroll, but nah, like you just like hover your mouse over the candlesticks and just like press control and just use the scroll wheel. Like don't click the scroll,
Oh.
just like zoom in and out.
No, it's not working.
It's not working. Are you pressing control?
Oh no, I was
Hold
pressing shift. Yeah, it's not. Is this going backwards?
on. Hmm,
Wait.
that's weird.
Okay, here we go. Let's GU. These keep resetting. This is annoying. But that shows you the imbalances at a glance. So you see there's the big one there. 27-0. That's a peach. So I think the market will come down and fill that. I'm pretty
Uh-huh.
convinced. And you can see,
Also like a break and retest level if you see on the left. Or like a breaker. If people trade that.
yeah. Where's the breaker? Sorry.
By the wick where you put the red line like to the left.
This
like
one.
right there. That could be a breaker, yeah, if you just grab the wick.
Yeah, that works. I don't really like MT4, but I think there's equal lows there as well. You would think the
Oh yeah,
market would
the
come.
buildup of liquidity.
You think the market would come down to 1.23.
That's if it wants to grab those lows, though. Really.
God, there's so many annotations and stuff. Yeah, we seem to be going down now, but this is really annoying. I thought we'd get a dramatic drop today. Like, sometimes Fridays are like big sell off days.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I put my setups up. I think try like have a look at them. They're quite similar to yours, but like my big thing is key levels because they tend to be areas where traders put stops. So I'll
Mm.
go back to yesterday. Yesterday was quite interesting. So it's like
Stream is paused, by the way.
oh, is it? Hold on.
Yeah. And
Mm, somebody else here. RB, how's it going?
yeah. Welcome, man.
Feel free to say hello. Trading view. I'll need to pay for this and get like higher res. So yesterday was
I'm
really
gonna send you a
interesting.
nitro.
Um, apologies that this is really slow. Fuck off. Where was that? Okay, good. We'll go 5 minutes. I trade off the 1 minute chart, but the five you should always have 5 and 15 open as well.
First, like always like switch between time frames. Don't really like zone out. That's like got me like killed a lot in trading.
Yeah.
Or just like I zone into like just one time frame. I don't check the higher time frame.
Okay, get rid of that. So yeah, this was Thursday. This one was good. That was a quick liquidity spike on New York, and I just winged it because it touched this little supply zone. So I entered immediately, and it was like 30 pips or 20 pips or something. This was just a sweep of Asia low, so I entered there, and I was really, really tempted just to hold it to close. Because it seemed like it was accumulating for a pop up. We were on the swing zone, so we'd broken the supply zone, so we're kind of on a flip zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, these charts are so messy. I haven't really cleaned them up, so that was a good one. I was gonna just hold that to close, but I just chickened out and took 6R, 35 pips. But this was just scalping day, 10, 15, 20 pips all around. But the best thing to do would have been just to like mark up key levels. That's the best place to trade, is because that's where people put stops, and they're always hit. And when they're hit, the market reverses.
Yeah.
But you want the key level. Say it's like Asia low or London low or whatever. You also want a trading level below that, like a supply demand or an FEG. If we go to
An FEG with like a volume imbalance,
yeah.
like you say, yeah. That's
Um,
those who wanna trying to do.
Also this morning, like see Dixie,
Yeah.
had those equal lows. This was like 6 o'clock. So of course, like we know the market's gonna like smash these equal lows, and it filled exactly this little like M15 FVG.
Uh-huh.
So when that happens, that was the perfect cue to go short on GU. So ideal. Um, so yeah, it was just a little scalp day. I really wish I held from Asia low and just let it run. If you're going with the trend, usually it's good to get in a say it's a bull trend. It's always good to get in a discount and then just hold to close, hold to the ADR, and you would have got like what?
External range, really, right?
Yeah, you would have got like 80 pips if you just hold it to close and just like did something else.
I'm a
Instead,
yeah,
I'm like scalping all day. I did like 7 trades, like up, down, up, down, up, down.
7 trades.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got like I closed like 80 pips or something, which was all right.
But you closed and profited like a majority of them, so like you're good. Like
Yeah, it was a real up and down scalp day. And then Wednesday is another story. I guess okay, we'll make this last one because we've kind of rambled on quite a lot.
uh,
This threw me because we went into supply. Hmm, is this Tuesday? 5 o'clock. Okay, what's the situation? Yeah, we clipped. So that's a key level. Yesterday's London low. Clipped it, so can go in long there. But that was another one that you could just hold and went with the trend because it just shot up all day on CPI. So it's quite
hmm
hard to get an entry.
try and like avoid news, like so I don't really like I don't get into the mess of it
Yeah,
because I want to be trading a funded account like next couple of months, really, right?
yeah.
So
I've traded a few over the last year, but you have to be really careful because on phase one you kind of have to increase the leverage and be quite aggressive because you need to
that's
get.
why like my my monthly target is 16R because 16R on 0.5% is that's 8%. So that's like the target I want to hit.
Yeah,
I hit it in December and January, but
what size of
I still have a lot of work. What's up?
what size of prop are you going for?
300K, like might as
300.
well. That's the yeah, that's like the one I'm trying to
You can get
work with.
400k with TFT. It's a
Yeah,
little.
400K. Yeah, you can get 400K, but they don't allow EAs on those
You don't need
accounts.
EAs. Like, what are you using the EAs for?
I use magic keys for entry
Uh,
risk. Yeah.
yeah,
So like I don't
I've got magic keys, but I can't get the hardware to work. I can only get the on-screen one
I
to work.
could I could help you with that. Like
Okay,
no lie.
yeah, I've got the hardware, I've got the key and all that, but I just can't
I
get it
got
to
the
work.
actual calculator, man. Like
Yeah, I've got the
ask me
tablets.
anytime. I got you.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be appreciated. So anyway, Wednesday, you had to be up at 5 o'clock. If you see, there's this little M5 supply.
hmm
Shoots up, breaks structure, and then you have to be up at 5:40 to get this long. So what I was saying was on CPI, we're gonna at least take yesterday's high, which was here. Sorry, it's a mess.
Okay.
But then we went up in supply, and then I guess like the big buyers were just shooting up because the Bank of England was being quite hawkish.
Mm.
So they just shut up. Like this fresh supply got wiped. So I was trying to short stupidly in here somewhere because I was getting signals. But that was the lost day. And then yeah, I tried to short an ADR and got whipped out. So yeah, that's the basics. I don't know, like most traders combine little bits of what they learn from places. So maybe I can show you a few things, and you can probably show me a few things.
You showed me a lot of things already, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah. So
there's a
but
lot of
if you go to Discord and go to setup one diagrams, try this setup. So key levels, because the good thing about it is you can just set alerts on them. Say you want to
huh?
set an alert on like the Asia low, and then you're like, okay, I'm not trading until the Asia low is wiped. And then the alert goes off, and then you come and you look for your trade, look for some imbalances to trade off.
Mm-hmm.
That one setup is gold because the key levels they're usually reversal points. If you see up here, I call the daily open a key level. It came up, tested the daily open, and then sold off.
Uh,
It's a. I sorry, I need to clean up my charts. they'll be a lot cleaner in future. I mean, you can see I'm quite an untidy person.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, man. Like I don't hate
Yeah, I can make
as long as I still see like I understand what's on the screen. Like I
yeah.
don't really mind.
I don't really teach people anymore, so like it's just for me, and I can understand the mess. It's fine, but like I see other people's charts and they're a lot cleaner. Fibs I don't really use, but they're good for like little pullbacks. Say you get the situation where there's an impulse and then pull back, and then you kind of want it in that ICT sweet spot about 70.5%.
Yeah,
If it goes past 79, then it's probably gonna wipe the high. But yeah,
the red zone.
that was probably the best trade of the day, especially like adding on that spike on London.
Hmm.
That needs a bit of confidence because a lot of traders will be like doubting their position, closing it, or even reversing. So yeah, we'll see if the sell off works, but that's Friday, so yeah. I'll have a look at your trades and stuff. And I'll give you some feedback, but yeah,
Thanks,
stick around
man.
here. I'm sure
Yeah,
I can show you a few things. But I guess the goal is to like get consistent and
yeah. That's the main goal. Like be consistent.
yeah.
Plus the stuff you told me about, like volume clusters and all that. I never, never in my life have used volume. I said I actually like don't use like no indicators like on my chart. The most I would use is like a fractal for high and lows, but even then I could tell what a high and low is. Like,
Well, yeah, the thing that jumped out on your results is you're using very, very tight stops. And I don't think you can, well, you can. You can do it, but it's much easier if you have the futures footprint and you have the
and
imbalances. And that'll give you like very, very precise levels to trade off of.
yeah, the fact you even tell me like you told me about the futures footprint and all that, it's like that's what intrigued me, you know, because
Yeah,
I saw you used to do those trades. I'm still trying to do those trades, but you know, like
it,
you said, I could space it out 5 pips, and I could
yeah.
still make a profit.
It's not a silver bullet. It's not gonna like change your life, but it did change my trading a lot for the better, especially when I got my head around it. Yeah, have it on a separate screen. Only use it if you have a reason to trade it on the chart. Don't just trade any imbalance like in thin air.
Of course,
So actually, what's happening? Can you see my MT4? No, hold on.
no, I only see trading view.
Change windows.
Huh.
How did you get into trading? Like, what was the?
My friend, like he was trading gold in the summer, and
Yeah,
we were playing on Modern Warfare at the time, right? He was playing it, I was watching him. Then he told me I just made like 3K on gold. I'm like, gold. Like I didn't know what he was talking about, right? This is when gold was in its bull run. He made like nice profit off it. I was like, what the hell?
gold
And I
is
actually like,
on a
yeah,
tear. China are like buying the shit out of it. I think I don't know. It's something to do with like Chinese New Year and gold, but I think like all right. Hey, can you see we're about to touch this imbalance? So let's see if it
yeah.
reacts. It's the 20-0. That might be a good place to add. This will
Let's
probably
see.
resist. So this the thing is the prices. That's the futures price, which is going to be different from the spot price because there's a risk premium built in.
Hmm.
But that should react. Let's go to 1 minute. Yeah, you can see it just about touched it and then sold off.
I
So
see it in my chart, even though it's like, yeah.
yeah, but you have to have a reason to trade off them.
I'm
I've
not gonna just be trading naked and blind. Like,
yeah
nah,
yeah yeah
I'm
yeah
gonna give story, of course.
yeah. Like say you had an imbalance within this fair value gap.
Previous pause. If
You
you,
know that's a perfect place to take a little scalp if you wanted. I tend to aim for at least 30 pips. Like that's my kind of sweet spot. Um, I don't like to be like trading all day, like doing 10, 20 trades.
yeah,
But if you have, say, you have a 400k prop and you're doing, well, I was doing this last year. I was trading like 70 lots on a 400k prop. If you get 30 pips, that's like 21 grand. So,
no, exactly.
Um, yeah, I think the name of the game is to just trade less. Just take like one trade a day, even less. Don't sit in front of the screen. Just like hammer it. Like you have to have other things in your life and hobbies. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm obviously
I'm sure
not
you'll
gonna
get
like
there.
sell
Like
that
just
charts and
stick
shit.
around. I'll help you out.
Thank you, man. I
Um,
really like appreciate it though. Like nonetheless.
no worries, no worries. So what's Queens like? What's the scene? What do you do there?
Bro, it's just like nothing really. Like I just go to work, it's cold. I mean, people are fine here. It's like
Do you travel
not
out to
really.
the other boroughs, or are you just like neighborhood
I
guy?
actually don't. I don't do none of that. I work out and stuff like that, right? I work out, work. I come home, I study, train, I back test. I see what I do wrong. Like I'm still trying to like break my barrier. So this
Yeah,
is like my main priority. My parents know that. Like so they're giving me time and stuff to like work on myself.
yeah. I got into this about the same age. Well, a little bit older. I think I was like 24. I was just after university, and I was like looking for a job,
I
and
couldn't.
it
I
took me
couldn't
like
bother.
it took me like 6 months. I became an investment consultant. That was like my first like real job after university. But for six
Mm.
months, I was trading forex, and I lost a lot. I was just like, this is impossible, and I kind of gave up on the idea.
Mm.
Um, then like 10 years later, I got made redundant from an investment manager job during the lockdown. I thought I read this book on like Stoic philosophy, and like the whole idea is like turning adversity to your advantage. You know, if you have like some kind of hard time, and like we'll just try and turn it to your advantage somehow. So I got made redundant, and I was like, okay, I've got all this time, I've got a bit of money to play with. I'm just gonna like, I always wanted to be self-employed as well. So it was like I just have,
Isn't everybody? Yeah, everybody
yeah,
wants to be like that.
and
Takes time though.
yeah. So it was just like I just looked at the charts for like 14 hours a day for it's like nearly it's coming up in 3 years. So it's good. Like I had like good periods of consistency, and then you know, I do
You'd
have,
still say like you're consistent right now though, right? Like
yeah, I do.
obviously. Yeah.
I do have little like foibles, like little frenzies that I'll get into. Like I'll take a loss and then take a revenge trade. And I'm like, what the fuck? I've just unwind like half my profits from the morning or something. Um, so it's
What's your risk like parameter? Like
like what's my limit? I try and take like I don't really have one to be honest. I should
0.5, 1%, like
I try and like I used to try and do 25 hour a week, and I would do that quite often. Um,
25 R of like what percent though? Like 1%?
like quarter of a percent
Yeah, zero point
or
0.5, yeah.
quarter to half percent depending on the trade.
25 R is ridiculous,
Yeah,
but
I
possible.
think it's too much to know, but I used to be able to do it quite often, especially in
If you could, yeah, if like think about it like this, if you could just do that on a prop like 25 in a month, I think you're good. Like you're good for life at that point.
yeah
25 R in a month is very doable. Like you could have one bad week, one good week, another good week, and a bad week. You'll be profitable, really.
yeah, but becoming consistent is no joke. Let me tell you that it takes a long time and a lot of practice.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
hard.
like I'm willing to give up like my all. Like I sacrificed a lot, really.
Okay, like my position got closed. They just closed it out for some reason. Anyway, I think that's enough for this video. So, um, I wish you well, and we'll talk again soon. And anytime you wanna chime in,
Yeah.
who else is there? Anyone else here?
UFS.
UFS, come on, say
Mhm.
hello, please.
He doesn't want to talk, man. It's
Come
fine.
on, man.
I have a mic, bro.
All right. Um, yeah, I used to do loads of live calls like every day. I was in calls for mentorship, but
Every day.
every day I got really sick of it. It was too much like a job. Um,
Nah, yeah,
and
that's basically a job.
it was affecting my own trading. I had like a big blow up towards the end of last year because I was just getting so stressed. I was dipping my toes in waters like I shouldn't have been doing. I was like managing other people's accounts, passing prop
Nah,
challenges for people, and it was just like the people would comment on every trade and DM me and say like, why did you take a loss today? What happened? I was like, well, it's forex. You're like gonna take losses sometimes.
Yeah, I think people just don't wake up from reality. Like they
Yeah,
think it's gonna be easy. It's not like
yeah. And then there's people I mentored, and they expect to like catch every wave of the market. It's like, oh, I should have caught that. Like blah blah. It's like, no,
nah,
it's
that's
not.
that's where they go wrong. That's where they
Yeah,
go wrong.
you
Like you can if you want, but it's no point if you just catch one move, you make your money and you're done, bro. Like
the
you already
problem
made money off it. Like
the problem is if you take a win or a loss, both those are very dangerous to your mindset because like if you take a win you get the dopamine rush, you think you're indestructible, so your next trade you're going to take like stupid risks and probably wipe out your profit. Or if you take a
nah,
loss you're going to feel stressed and you'll be like, shit, I have to make my money back as quickly as
that's why
possible.
people gotta like become like systematic traders, you know? Like they gotta get a checklist and get
Yeah,
a goal in mind. Like so if they reach their goal, they stop
yeah,
and they just take a step back or they just go on demo and start testing really. Like
yeah.
that's what I do.
I've got checklists. There's a checklist channel if you see this. And I've got
Yeah, I see it. I
I've got
saw it yesterday too.
yeah, I've got a morning and an evening checklist that I follow religiously, so I really recommend that. But
That's good though.
I've not got a checklist for. I've got like flow charts, like
Hmm.
process flow charts instead of a checklist for the setups, which I find a bit more useful.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, this all everything's on YouTube. It used to be a course, but yeah, I can't be ours.
On YouTube now. Yeah. Thank you though.
Yeah, we'll
Like
make.
greatly.
Yeah, no worries, man. All right, we'll talk again soon.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll put this on YouTube, maybe not. But that was just like a little overview, and next time I'll clean up the chart and it'll all be good.
All right, man. I hope you set up magic keys whenever you want. Like,
Yeah, I've got it somewhere. Um, I don't know. I don't understand the keypad. Like I don't
all
understand.
okay. So
Like
there's really like only three keys. It's just open calc and open trade and market pending.
I bloody
That's all you need.
I hate MT4. Like I hate it with like passion. I used to trade through TradingView. I much prefer that.
Trading
But
is super easy, no lie.
yeah. Anyway, this crashed. Like it's been at this level for anyway.
Yeah, we'll speak again soon, man.
Yeah, cool. All
Mhm.
right,
I'll catch
end of
you.
video. I'll put it on YouTube. It's not much insight, but yeah, New Year, first video. Okay, talk
It's a
soon, bro.
nice, yeah.
Have a good.
I'll catch you,
What
man.
time
You
is it
too.
there? Actually, is it like?
1:46.
All right,
Yeah,
it's
so it's like evening time almost, afternoon really.
it's 7 o'clock here. Well, 10 to 7, so I better get something to
Damn.
eat or something. All right, talk to you soon, Matt.
You too. Be safe, man.
Yeah.